Right, here we are. We're back in Alaskan Road Truckers. Um, well, we have everything up full, graphic wise. We've got the mirror, and that's not the one I wanted to press. We've got the mirrors working. I'm trying to remember the button configuration in this again. Hang on. That's it. We've got the mirrors working full because we've now got the graphics up full. The grind goes on. I'm going to show you where we are. We are there. I think we've just topped up the fuel. We're heading to the usual place. It's always a case of what goes up must come down in Alaskan Road Truckers. So the most money you're going to get is heading north or heading south when you're up north. So needless to say, once again, we are heading back up to Prudhoe Bay. We are taking general goods up to the store at Prudhoe Bay, which is where I've recently got rid of my winter jacket because we've gone from winter into spring. So we've got good road conditions. The improvements that we've had since we last did a stream, I'll show you. First of all, our driver managed to get to now what was it? Was it the Class 3 trucks? That's what it was. I think it was the Class 3 trucks that we got. So we bought a new truck. Now, the good news on that score is that the new truck now has a top speed of 60 miles an hour. It's got a more powerful engine. I've got rid of the old truck. I sold it. And we can now go above that speed limit. There's actually an achievement in Alaskan Road Truckers which I got purely by accident because I was heading down the road flat out at 60 miles an hour, and you get an achievement if you stay at 60 miles an hour or over for more than 30 seconds in the game. So I got that achievement in Steam. But what we've also got is we now have the 2 points required on the mechanical side of our profile, where we can either unlock customization options for the truck body, or we can add a diagnostics module to our base, or our headquarters, sorry, or we can expand this tyre storage space. Now, to be brutally honest with you, I don't really think much of that is really relevant. First of all, because I spend very little time going to my base for any reason whatsoever. And the only reason I went to the base just recently, in a previous couple of trips, was to buy this new truck and trade in the old one, which I did. And that's the only reason I went back to my headquarters, because that's the only place you can do that. You have to go to your headquarters, go to your office, and go onto the computer, which allows you to then take out a bank loan, etc., bring in another driver, change your profile driver if you wanted to do that, and also to be able to get rid of trucks and buy new trucks once you have the relevant qualification to do so. So we've come out of winter, we're into spring, the roads are good. The downside to the truck being a faster truck is that it guzzles more fuel and it's got a smaller fuel tank, so I do have to spend more dollars in getting fuel for the truck. So that's where we are. We are about to head north. I am just going to move my chat window to somewhere like there. I think that'll probably do it if the chat's going to work. And we're ready to go. At least I think we are. Get the handbrake off. Now this game is really annoying. Annoying for a number of reasons still, the bugs that are still in it, but probably more so because of the AI drivers hitting you and you getting fined for it. So we'll get out of here if we can. This is another thing that needs redesigned. If you look at this fuel station that we're in, the telephone poles line up right down the side of the fuel station, making it awkward to get into and no less awkward to get out of, because you're in danger of causing damage to the truck as well as bumping into the pole. This is another thing that needs redesigned. They need to space out the poles more, or get rid of them and maybe put them on the other side of the road, which I think they have got them. Have they not? They've not got them over there as well. Well, they need to get rid of that. This needs a redesign, this fuel stop. I mean, it's okay putting things there for the sake of making things awkward, but it just doesn't look practical. There's no defined entrance or exit to this fuel station, and it's just annoying trying to get out of it. Right. We just need to make sure we've got enough room. Right, that should do it now. Let's try that. And what I've been doing is when AI vehicles have been running into me, I have been getting fined anything up to $600 because of them, and I'm just knocking down road signs as well. I have just decided to, every time it happens, kill the game, Control-Alt-Delete, and let the game load from the last autosave, which usually gets rid of the damage. It allows you to take over from where you left off without getting penalised at damage until they fix it, because there's no way you should be getting penalised each time for AI drivers running into you, especially if they're coming from a side road or something like that. They can run into you. If you stop, and I mean, I've had them run into me more than once when I've stopped on the road to get rid of a blockage, which is always usually just a tree. That's another thing that annoys me. There's loads of things that annoy me about this game that can be put right. The one, of course, with the roadblocks that happen on a regular basis. The roadblock is always a tree, or in winter time it's an avalanche. The tree, wherever the tree may fall, will fall at exactly the same point throughout the map. So you get to know where the trees are going to be falling on the road anyway. They don't happen in any other areas. It's not random. When they do happen, they happen at the same spots each time. So it's always the same tree in the same spot, and it's so predictable. So we've got, what, 900 miles to go. Once we get out of here. So we've got that full fuel tank. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock at night. We're going to have a little while before we have to take a break. So we just need to make as much mileage as we can and just grind on, because that's all you're doing. Grind until such times as we get another update or another expansion to the map, or also an improvement in the jobs that you can get. But the grind will continue as points become more challenging to get, especially the higher levels. You know, I think my driver's at level 21 or something at the moment, and those higher targets that you have all need at least 2, and the final ones you need to get 3 points. So that's a real crawl around and around and around, backward and forward, in order to just get those points built up each time. But the points that I have for my headquarters, I'm really less inclined to use those, because I don't really see the long-term value in them. I mean, for example, there's no point in having more parking spaces in your headquarters other than the two. And the only reason you have the two is so you can park one truck, jump into the other one, and then sell the other one. There's no reason to keep a stock of more than one truck, because you can't hire drivers. So it's a pointless article in keeping more than one truck, unless you just want to jump backward and forward between trucks. There is no value in it at all. So the only reason for keeping a truck would be so that you could hire a second driver and he could do jobs for you, and you'd get money for it, you'd get income. This is where it lacks that expansiveness like Eurotruck or any other truck driving game. That on the road German game, you can hire drivers in that. You can't hire drivers in this. So surely you would think the developers would see the value long term and actually allow you to run a more expansive business in terms of having the headquarters with more than one parking space, with more than one truck, and also, other than you being solo, having more than one driver. They also need to look at the winter weather and making it more brutal, because it isn't. You'll get heavy snow, but it's heavy, steady snow. And loads of things, loads of ideas I've got in my head that can improve this game. And, you know, we wait with bated breath to see how far the developers are prepared to invest in this. I mean, this could be one of these games where, you know, it looks like the PC version is just a test version, because I think there's the rumours going around that it's going to come out on the consoles, which, and I'll be brutally honest with you, you know, they're over keen to get it out in the consoles, obviously to make money, but on a game that is far from finished. I'll show you an example. Here's a thing I discovered the other day, and I'm sure more than me has discovered this. Now, where was I on the map? Let me just see if I can get to the point. Now, I think it was here. It might be there. Let me think, or is it further north? Now, you notice that you can go. I haven't actually checked this out, but if you look at that there, there's a magic bus point of interest there. I don't think I've checked that out, and I've no inclination to go and check it out, but there's another road that I'm trying to remember where it is. I don't know that it's that far north. I think it must be further south. And I'll tell you what I did the other day. Was it there? Let me have a look. And maybe it was up there. Maybe it was. There's a road that goes to a sort of dead end, and you actually, if you keep driving, you end up driving off the map. You actually end up driving around on the grass, which, you know, this area of the map hasn't been prepared for you to actually be there, but the road that you drive on goes to a dead end and just goes straight off the map. It's not a blockage, and you can drive as far as you can get with a truck. One bug I discovered with that is that when I decided to call the tow truck to get me back to the road, the game bugged out, because you shouldn't be able to go off the map. And again, they've got this game live where you can go off the map, but you really shouldn't be. You can drive all the way down here. I ended up driving to a point where I could go under a river, believe it or not. Actually under a river, not over a river or through a river, but actually under a river. But I cannot remember the road. I thought it was up there, but anyway, that's a side issue there. But let's just say that, you know, like Eurotruck, unless the maps, you know, for me, Eurotruck, the attraction is trying out different maps and stuff. This game, things become repetitive very quickly. buying food, topping up the fuel in the truck, taking the truck in to get repaired, heading back up north to get the most money for a job, heading back south to get the most money for a job, travelling the furthest distance to get the most money for a job, trying to keep your reputation up. Now, one advantage now we have in this truck is that I shouldn't be getting done for being late, because this is the most powerful truck I've had in the game so far. I haven't done anything to it, I haven't spent any money on decals or paint jobs or anything like that. So remember how bad, it's extraordinary how bad my mirrors were and how good they are now, from simply turning the graphics up absolutely full. So that's the one thing I'm pleased about the game. I think this job's going to give me about $9,000 or something, probably around about that. And then of course the truck is due probably to get some repairs done, which fortunately I can do that up at Prudhoe Bay, because there is a truck repair centre up there. So we'll do that, and whatever money we've made for this truck, most of it is going to go for repairs again. So you know, your income gradually goes up very slowly, but if you have a few accidents, self-inflicted damage, then that's going to cost you, especially if you have to get the tow truck. So that's what you want to avoid. You've still got these graphic glitches that happen on the same points in the map wherever you are. You will see them. You'll notice it on 2 or 3 occasions heading north, where the graphics just seem to glitch for a second. So now we can actually end up overtaking vehicles, which you can't do with that previous truck I had at 50 miles an hour. It wouldn't go any faster than that. Well, it would very slightly go faster if you were going downhill. Oh, almost jackknifed there. Going a bit fast for that bend. So now when you're back into springtime in this game and approaching summer, this is where you have to make hay while the sun shines. You know, when it's good weather, good roads, you have to get the foot down and get as many jobs in as you can, stretch the truck to its limit without getting it repaired, to make the most money you can with what good time is available and weather that's available. I have to say though, and I said this in the last stream, that the likelihood of rain seems to have diminished quite a bit in the game. I think it's only rained once since the 1.4 update. So we're topping over the 50 miles an hour. And we're now most certainly speeding. I think it was along this stretch of road here that I got my 60 mile an hour achievement award. Down to 25. Well, this is where you've got to be careful in case there's any highway police parked at the side of the road. Now, there you'll see what I'm talking about. He just decides to pull in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control-Alt-Delete. I'm going to kill the game and restart it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's the one way to protect yourself from getting fines where it isn't your bloody fault. I mean, he just decides to cut straight in front of you. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. So that's the one way to cheat your way out of it until they fix the damn AI. And that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is stopping the truck and then get the chainsaw out to get rid of a tree, and then the next thing you know, you've got damage to the truck because an AI driver just drove straight into you at the back. You know, that's happened time and time again. So let's look at the map. That warning that has come up is always for this one, but this is what I was talking about earlier. This tree that's down here, if I was crazy enough, I could drive up there, turn the corner, go up and just get rid of the tree to get the 200 points. But whenever there's a down tree in this area, it's going to be there for a start. And usually there's sometimes one up there. So they always appear at the same place. They're always predictable whenever they happen. So again, the randomness, there's no randomness where they can, I mean, for example, I don't think I've ever seen a tree down here. And there's trees at the side of the road which could easily be, one could get blown over. It's always just in the same spots it will happen. So they need to look at the randomness and that sort of thing. But AI drivers are the main cause of you getting fines in this game. Yes, you're going to be speeding and going too fast into a corner, and yes, you're going to run into somebody, so that's your own fault. But I would say 90% of the fines that you get in this game are from the AI misbehaving one way or another, coming out of a side road and driving straight into you, cutting you up, going across into a turning. They'll cut you up that way. Now I need to get these mirrors back on. Hang on a minute. There we go. So we're just into early spring, and we can use all of this good dry weather to get the truck speeding and get these jobs in. I mean, I still rant about the same things there. You've got graphic glitches. We'll slow down again. You'll get this happening in automatic as well. Obviously, I'm using a controller. You don't have enough buttons configured on your controller to allow you to use manual gears, or basically you have to probably get rid of your mirrors or something or else, to allow you to use the button configuration on your controller to be able to use manual gearing. And when you're using the automatic gears, you can hear that on this particular truck that it takes a little while for the gears to kick in, because the truck knows that it's speeding up, and then as soon as you hit a hill it won't jump to the next gear, it'll drop, it'll stay stalled, and then it eventually kicks in. You can hear that pattern every time. Right, so again, we'll slow down. Now remember also, which I said in a previous stream, that the headlights on the truck, there's the other thing that they need to look at is that when you add additional lights, like the lights above the cab on the truck, if you spend money upgrading your truck and you buy lights, it's a waste of money because the lights don't work. They're purely a decorative thing, and again, something completely overlooked by the devs in the game. When you switch the lights on in the truck, they're either on at a low beam or a higher beam, and there is no auxiliary lights. There's no auxiliary lighting function in this game, so it's pointless buying and wasting money on additional lights for the truck because they will not function. They're only there for show. And one thing about the game, with the lights on the truck being so poor, as far as I'm concerned, the lighting and what you see in the road ahead is you know, there's a very, very short view distance that you have with the headlights on full beam. So the one way around that is to turn the brightness up in the game, which I have done. Now you can look, you've got to bear in mind this is early spring, game time. It's 10 minutes to, in fact it's 5 minutes to midnight, and this is as dark as it will get, and it allows me to see the road a lot better with crappy headlights that the trucks have in the game. So the headlights could be improved, the auxiliary lights could be added as a functional thing in the game rather than decorative, and that would certainly improve it one way. Now that truck doesn't know whether to stay in the inside lane or just sort of go half measures. So I could write a list the length of my arm on things that they could do to improve the game. Now we're getting a bit of lagginess here again with the trees and the barriers and stuff. As I say, I've got the graphics absolutely full blown, full blast. And of course, here's another thing, red lights mean nothing in Alaskan Road Truckers because you can go straight through them, there is no fine, and provided the road is clear, you just go straight through them anyway and ignore them. You know, what's the point in having red lights in the game when there is no penalty for you going through them? Loads and loads of stuff that the dev just completely overlooked, and they're talking about bringing this out onto console when they haven't got the PC version anywhere near proper functionality. But this is what it is, the pressure is on so much to make money and get a return that they'll throw out any old shit nowadays. Red light again, let's just head through it. It's as quick as they can get the thing out onto the market. If you think about it, there's quite a lot of people desperate to have truck driving games on console, and they'll take any pile of shit as long as it gives them more choice, regardless of whether it's going to be any good. So anybody who's got a console who thinks they're going to have something that's like Euro Truck, it's going to be nothing like it. I mean, there are there's good aspects and good things about this game. In fact, there's good things about this game that Euro Truck should actually look at stealing and adding to Euro Truck. I've always said that. It does no harm to see what the competitors are doing and what you can do to your game to improve it, or to add, to add more features and function and realism to it as best you can. So again, you can see that little graphic pause, because you know it's a graphics issue, because you just need to see the side of the road. You can see things changing at the side of the road when you go through that sort of, whatever it is, that sort of barrier. Now that's been there since day one in the game. It's not really improved a great deal at all. So there was a thing on a post on Facebook from the game developers. There's also been a couple of videos on YouTube. The rumour, it may well even, it might even already be announced, but the announcement's more than likely going to be a date for the console version of the game. So my advice is, yes, it's a good addition to the game library for these big consoles, for the PS5 and Xbox and stuff, none of which I own. But you're buying an unfinished product, basically, which has got DLCs out on it. And I mean, who knows, the game probably might run a lot better on console, simply because, you know, consoles don't have the same problems that computers have with all the different graphics cards, RAM, all of the other conflicting things that cause problems with games. You know, so it may well the game might run a lot smoother on console than it actually does on PC. It could well do. So on we go. We've got what, 500 odd miles to go. Weather looks as if it might be changing a wee bit. It's always done this and threatened as if it's going to rain, and then it never came to anything. But I am probably going to be needing a sleep in a little while, as well as some food. And we can top up. In fact, we can probably eat as much as we want till we get to Prudhoe Bay, because Prudhoe Bay's got a good store for these MRE foods, where you don't need the microwave, you just eat them. I'm just taking my time here. I think most people who've heard me ranting while I've been playing this game, they all know the major thing I ranted about right from the start was how they never really, the devs never really looked at how this road was going to be laid out. In fact, we'll just nip in here. This is a parking spot. We'll go in here. We're needing a rest. So we'll get that, and then when we get up in the morning, but let's just make sure that we're in, because sometimes it won't let you actually stop if you're not quite right in the parking area. But that'll do. You know, they never looked at properly making this a represent. I mean, it's obviously a game, but because this is a famous route, they never really looked at implementing it properly. And that's where they failed straight off the bat. The fact that they've got no delineators, I ranted about that. And they half-heartedly put some in. But, I mean, on this map in winter time, it is near impossible to know where the road is. In fact, on the road, if you look at this in winter time, you will see that the roads actually look as if they've got grass growing out of them, just to make it even more confusing. Right, so we now know that we need a rest. We're going to do that right now. Yeah, if only they'd listened to, if only I was around when they were developing this and doing some testing on it, I would have certainly put them right in a few things before they actually ever get round to thinking of releasing this. You know, whether they'd listen to you is another thing. Right, so we've got 1 day left in the frozen pizza, so we'll have that for a start. So get the pizza done, we'll get that devoured. And now what do I do to get my menu again? That's it. And I want to get back in there, I don't want to get out, I didn't want to go to my seat, I want to get something else while I'm in there. Now what one was I going to go for? We've got 1 day left in the mac and cheese, so we'll have to get rid of that. I think most of the stuff down here is pretty good. Now we've got 1 day left on the fried chicken tenders as well, so we'll have that. And we don't want anything going to waste. Now I wonder if that'll fill me up, and if it doesn't, I'll get rid of the last thing that's there. That's us. No, we've got a little gap yet, so we're going to just gorge ourselves, and we'll get rid of that mac and cheese. That'll do. And that'll make sure that we're well and truly full. And we'll eat that. Right, so we've got a full stomach. We'll get rid of some of the food that was about to go off. Did I turn the headlights off? Yes, I did. Right, so we're now good to go. Well, we're right in the middle of spring, and it's 9:47 in the morning, so this is as good as it gets in this game weather-wise. Now all of those points of interest that are around the map, if you want to get that achievement, you obviously need a camera. I think when you get to points of interest, I think you're supposed to take a photograph of them if you're inclined that way to do that. But you could very well get to the stage where that's all you have to do to get all the rest of the achievements, because you'll get bored just going backward and forward to try and get more and more money. Right, let's get the foot to the floor now, see if we can get to the 60 mile an hour mark that this truck will do. There we go. That's us going flat out now. All those times we did the jobs, we were stuck at 50 mile an hour and no more. Now we're stuck at 60 mile an hour and no more. But at least we can get the jobs done quicker. Albeit we're putting our life at risk here and round these bends at 60 mile an hour. But that's the benefit of it. You can get more jobs. And now here's the other thing that annoyed me right at the start: the limitation in the amount of truck types that you have in the game. If you look at the AI vehicles, you'll see the cement mixer loads and loads of times. You'll see the tipper truck loads and loads of times. But what you won't see in this game in winter time is a snowplow, which is another thing they completely overlook. And there's the graphic glitch heading north. There's another one or two to come, I can guarantee you that. Right, let's just slow down, we won't take any risks here. there's the gearbox doing that again. This is what happens in automatic. You'll hear it kicking in if it wants to go to the next gear, and then it drops out. You sometimes have to give it 2 or 3 goes before it'll eventually work out that you do want to go faster. So off we go. You know, given time and given that they have the money to invest in it, that, you know, hopefully there's people there that do listen to the ideas and how they can improve this game. For example, here's another thing that can improve. I'll show you this one in a sec. Now that I've got there, there's a point on the map which I think I've mentioned previously. Let me just show you. There's a pointless area in the map here that, again, because you've driven the route that many times, you know it off by heart. Now, if you look here, there's a point of interest here, the Trapper's Cabin. And there's also, if you notice, there's a logistics location here. This is somewhere you can go and get a job. Now, this road here in the game is permanently blocked. There is a landslide just at the Trapper's Cabin. So if you're driving north and you're going there, the GPS will tell you to go in this route to get there. You can never do that. You have to redirect yourself to go up there to go down there, simply because there is a rock slide permanently there on this road. At least every time I've went along there, there's always been a rock slide. Now that's something that they can update and change with a patch. So they could do that where, you know, for a period of time the rock slide is there, and for a period of time it is gone. I've never been there yet where it's not been there, so it's a pointless road to try and go along. You will never get past it, and you will damage a truck if you attempt to do so. So that's one thing they want to look at and either get rid of altogether, or again bringing in a more randomness to the trees that block the roads, as well as this landslide that permanently blocks the road. Right. Meanwhile, we just need to watch the pace here. Now we can have a go at getting past him now that we've sped up again. It just takes us that bit longer to get up to speed. So my GTX Titan graphics card, which is what, 7 years old now, top of the range at the time, most expensive graphics card that I had in a PC in its day, can certainly still handle this game for the most part. I don't believe that it's my graphics card that's doing this in the game. If somebody could prove me wrong and tell me that I am wrong, but everything runs reasonably well. And you will see heading north that we are going to get another, at least 1 or 2 of these graphic glitches, and you won't be able to miss them. You will see them, and they're always at the same spot on the map. So that tells you that it's something to do with the, you know, how the map is set up. Whatever triggers something in the map, I don't know, but it does affect the graphic. You'll see the glitch affects the road, it affects the side of the road, and it will happen. That's the one thing for certain, is that I can guarantee you that heading north here you will see it. Now in real life, you know, the truckers that do drive this road and that do work for the oil industry, or at least transportation for the oil industry. That's the grind that those guys have to do every day whenever they're at work, especially if they're going from down south and heading right up the Dalton Highway, right up to Prudhoe Bay. That's a long trek. So all they have to look forward to is heading north, getting the load delivered in one piece, getting fed and rested, and then getting loaded and heading back south again. They've certainly got that aspect right in this game, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing the longer hauls if you're going to try and get the most money quicker. One thing again, as a reminder that you should always do, just regularly set the default route, just in case something glitches out on the GPS, which has been known to happen. I think this is just over a 600 horsepower truck, which compared to my last truck, which was 430 odd, I think. So there's a big difference there. You certainly need that extra power. There we go, there's a graphic glitch there. Still another one at least to come. It happens when there's a lot less trees around further north, with a pipeline at the side of the road. That's where it will happen. So we've 240 odd miles to go, and we're not going to take any risks, he says confidently. Get ready for this next graphic glitch that's about to happen. Right, let me just get past it. Can't do that in a 50 mile an hour truck. There we go. Just to that bend, that's where it always happens, and I'm not sure whether there's another one yet. So we've just got 130 miles to go. The delineators that the devs eventually put in after my rant, they will appear soon enough. So we're almost there, and we can. In fact, now that I think about it, let me just have a look at the map. Is it worthwhile actually going to? Because we're probably well ahead of schedule. It might be worthwhile going into the truck stop first. Not the truck stop, the truck workshop, sorry. It might be worth going in there because we're actually heading that direction first. We get the truck sorted out there, and then we can head up and make the delivery. I think that's probably a good plan. So this is us on what's again called the North Slope. Once you've supposedly gone through those that mountain range, having gone over the Attigan Pass, which again I keep ranting about, they never bothered to put in the game. Once you come down off the Attigan Pass, you're now down onto the North Slope, which takes you down not only to Prudhoe Bay, but right down to the Arctic Ocean. You can't go any further north than where you're at. So again, a very prominent point of interest that they completely neglected to put in the game, and I'll never forgive them for that. I think that's a huge oversight on their part for not doing enough homework, or simply not been bothered to put the damn thing in. And they should have made the Attigan Pass more of a challenge, especially in winter, but I'll rant and rant and rant until they maybe get round to thinking of, you know what, I think somebody might have a point there. I think that's very unlikely to happen, but that's probably in my dreams that'll happen. So there's the afterthought delineators, which aren't even they're not even proper delineators for a start. But that's the best that they could come up with, and they only put them in for the last 100 miles. When really they should be in a lot more areas of the map so that you know where the road is. When the snow is like a foot and a half in the ground. On roads which snowplows never come to. I know I sound like a broken record, but again, these are things that were completely overlooked by the devs. You know, if we're going to have lots of snow on the roads, we must surely have some equipment on the roads that are there to actually keep the roads open. But no. It all adds to the realism at the end of the day, but you know, when you think about it, I mean, in all honesty, this game, although it's out in the PC, is more aimed at the console market, because if they wanted to make it a more detailed game, like a comparable game to Eurotruck, this is why they made a point saying, well, this isn't like an Alaskan version of Eurotruck, and it's far from it, because there's lots and lots of stuff that they completely omitted to make this more attractive to the console market. You know, a lot of the console market would much rather just pick up the game and go on with it without getting into a great deal of detail, and if that's what you like, then you'll get enjoyment from this game. But if you've been used to Eurotruck like I have since day one, then there's a heck of a lot of opportunity still available for this game to improve. It's just a question of whether they do it, or whether the game will live or die by the amount of people that follow it and take it up and actually buy the game, and whether the devs will respond to all the advice given to them and ideas given to them about about how to expand the game and improve it, and what features to add, and certainly what things that still need fixing, because there's still things need fixing in this game. You're a liar if you think that they aren't. There's the final graphic glitch there, just as you head right into Prudhoe Bay. Right, so this is where we can go right here if we want to actually go and drop off the goods. But what we'll do is we will head left, because the actual workshop is just right next to us. So we will head in there. And this is probably going to cost us at least $7,000, if not $8,000, as it always will do, just to get the general wear and tear done on the truck. So we'll head in here. We're getting a bit of frame drop there. So we will get in there and hit the horn, if I can remember what I'm doing. There we are. So now we're in. We've already got the best tyres on the truck. So if we go to repairs, you'll see that there's 2,000 there for the brakes, and the brakes are only at 96%. But I always like to, after a few trips, go in anyway. Let's see how much that's going to cost us. It's going to cost us $6,000 to get that fixed. So that'll still keep us over 200,000. So we'll get that done. And the rest of the stuff I ain't interested in. I don't need to have a fancy paint job. It's unnecessary. But now all we need to do is get ourselves hooked back up to the trailer. Wherever that is, it's probably at the back of the premises. I like to get the lights on all the time. So let's see, I think we're round. Where the hell are we? Yeah, I think the trailer's up round the back there, is it? That's certainly not it there, I think it's around the back. Yeah, I think that's it there. Right. I hope that's it. I can't even remember what the bloody trailer looks like. I'm sure it's that. Now this is where I had a problem in trying to raise the supports on the trailer previously, and it's important that you get lined up properly in this one. The camera's glitching about because of the building. Right, this is about it. This is the one thing I do like about the game. There's not an awful lot of things I like about it, but this is one of them where you've got that little guide, the little shadow of the circle that you can see to line up the pin, and that's pretty good. Right, we'll call that quits and put that handbrake on, put the lights off if we can get the light button, get out the truck. Right, and we can get down the side. Well, we've almost done it. You see, we're not quite. We can't get in there to get the. But I need to join up the bloody trailer first. That's why I can't get there. We're almost there. We've just got there. Right. So that's that done. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Now can we get ourselves out? Now that we've got in there, we can't get out. We're going to have to go out the back way, and we can't get out of there either. We can get out eventually. I thought we were going to be trapped. Yeah, it's a wee bit glitchy, this particular point. Now, see, there's a problem there straight away. Because I've got in there and because the truck's parked there and because all of this crap's here, I now can't get into the truck from that side. Because I obviously want to do the wires, so I'm going to have to do them from this side. It's just, they maybe want to get rid of some of the crap that's at the side there, or obviously they realise that and decide we'll put that crap there just to make people's life awkward. So there is obviously ways around it. You can get in the other side of the truck. Right. That, I keep hitting the wrong button because I'm not familiar with this configuration. So we're now hooked up and we've just got a few miles to go to drop this stuff off at the 24-hour store. In fact, the lights were on there. Right, so let's get out. If we can get out. It's going to be tight. It's going to be too tight. Right. That should do us. Now, I could go out that way, but I won't bother because that could also lead to trouble with traffic. Now, what I haven't done in the game so far is actually hauled anything like that. See those two diggers there? That digger that's on the trailer there, I've never hauled anything like that, so you must need to have a Class D license for stuff like that. Because I certainly am not able to take jobs like that. Right, so it's just up and around the corner. There's a car coming. Oh, I think I've already got myself stuck, have I? Nope. Even get out in one piece. Up here and turn to the right. Now, you're either parking up against the fence on the right hand side, or in fact there's another one up the far end there and to the left of the building. So I'll just go to the one at the fence. And the little man is actually up in the hut at the end of the back of the building. Now, early in the game, I got stuck in the fence. They've obviously fixed that bug. That was one of the very early bugs that I found. That when the truck drove towards the fence, it actually got stuck in the fence and you couldn't get it to move. I'm going to have to probably drive through here and reverse because the trailer's not straightening up quick enough. Right, let's see if we can get that done. Get it going that way a wee bit. Get it turned in. Always like to get my 5 stars. Well, that's, I don't like it. I mean, even though it's accepted that, I don't like the way that's lined up. That's pretty crap. We'll get it a lot better than that. Right, that's better. That's acceptable. That'll do it. Right, so handbrake on. Why I put the wipers on? That's not the bloody lights. Right, there we are. And it's what? Still -6, and I haven't got a winter coat because I got rid of it. Let's get the feet down. So it's still frosty. And I think that's me out of that. How the hell did I get it? There we go. Get the cables done. So we're probably getting about, I don't know, is it 9 grand or something for this? Probably around about that. And then we can unhook the trailer and go and get our reward. No, 12 grand we got. Well, we got 10 grand for the job. That's what it was, 9,999. We got 321 experience points, 250 for the parking bonus, and 2.5 grand for the season bonus. Which I haven't a clue what that means. Obviously, this is springtime, it's not winter, but you get 2.5 grand for it. So that's us done there. If we go in and go to the trucker, we'll see that mechanical side, we've now got a choice. Do we want to expand the storage space? No, I don't. Do I want to add a diagnostics module? I can't be bothered. Do I want to unlock customization options for the truck body? I probably will do that. If only because I can't be bothered doing the other ones. I don't see the value in them at the moment. But there'll always be that opportunity to do it. But I'm just going to hang off. I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to collect the mechanical points as we go along. So we've now got, I think this is the most money I've had in the game. We've got $219,000. If we now go to the jobs and we filter that for the licenses that we have, we've only got the C license. You can see that you've got D, H and E still to get. So I've still got a bit to go there. And if we look at the jobs, where we are, there is one job which will give us 7.5 grand's worth to the Terra Trash and Recycling. If we look at the furthest one north, there's an oil tanker that we could do for 8,000. If we look and zoom in here and see what's round and about, we've got one for 2,000 odd. None of these jobs so far have ever taken me to the ice roads. One to Delta Junction, which is 5.5, the other one 5.2. There's one there, container trailer, power haul, manufacturing, 9.5 grand. And there's one there for 10, waste tyres, Alaskan Tire Industries. Well, I'm obviously going to take the one with the most money, aren't I? Right, so that's the one, I think, what did I say that was there? That's the one that we'll mark out for. But in the meantime, I'm going to say goodbye to him. And I'm going to bring the truck round to the front of the store. If I'm right in thinking, I've got 3 spots in my inventory that need filling. Now, here's a tip, and it might be an obvious tip to most people that play the game, but if you look at my driver at the moment, the middle icon below the map, the GPS map, that little apple sign, that's telling you how hungry you are. Now you'll notice there's not, I'm not that hungry, but there is room to fill that up. And what you should do is, I'm not even going to bother switching the engine off, I'm just going to get out of the truck. What you should do is actually buy something there and then and eat it, which I'm about to do. That way that the spaces that you have in your inventory you're not effectively going to waste one space immediately by having to consume it fairly quickly. So what we'll do is we'll get in here, I'll get one of these beef raviolis, and if you look at that symbol there, you can see there's a little space, but I will just eat that right now. So that's me now full. So I've now got 3 spaces on my inventory on the truck. I'll take the cheese tortellini, I'll take the chili with beans, and I'll take the, what will I have? We'll have the home style vegetables and sauce. We'll have that, and while I'm at it, I'm going to have a coffee. If I can get, if I remember, this is where the coffees are, is it? Yes, it is. I'm going to have a half and half. No, I'm not. I'm going to have a strong spice coffee, and I'll have that and consume that right now. So we're now overloaded, and we're hot, according to the little symbol. So that'll go away in a little while. We'll put these 3 items into the inventory. Always double check your inventory for dates, that way you don't waste any food. Now, I think it's telling me that I need to have the handbrake applied, and we'll put the engine off so that I can get into the back. Right, inventory, well, we'll do that one first. So we've got the 2 spaces there, 1, 2, and then we go down there to that cupboard, and we've got the 1 space there. So we can pop that in there. So you know I gave all my VP cash and traded in my queues to Popman AAK. Well, I heard you say something about that on the stream the other night. So good luck with your new career in Shooter's Pool, cheese tort. Now you will agree with me that the pricing structure in Shooter's Pool is far better. You'll find that out if you haven't already found out, because now you can buy the queue that you want, the shaft that you want, the tables that you want, the cloth colours that you want, and the pricing is a lot more agreeable and a lot more attractive, which is far better than Virtual Pool 4 ever is. Right, let's have a look at this job that I'm going to, this one for like 10 grand or whatever the hell it is. Where the hell is it? Is it that one? Right, so we've got the waste tyres. I think that's the one with the big tyres on it. We've had that before. Right, let's go. In fact, I better start the engine. Hold on a minute. Oh, do you think I should come over to the dark side and start doing live streams of Shooter's Pool? Where are we? Right, there we go. But that's me put the bloody lights off. Right, did I put the handbrake off? Yes, I did. Right, so we're going to get this trailer with the big tyres on it. Or it might be, I think I've had one with big tyres on it before, or it's just a pile of tyres. So we'll get that done. And that'll make up for the repairs that we've just done, the maintenance we've done to the truck. And we'll get the, well, we'll not only just get the 10 grand, we'll get whatever bonuses are going as well at the end of the job. So, now where the hell is this though? Is it actually, it might actually be, I think we're actually going to the repair depot. I think that's where we're collecting them. It looks like it. In fact, I'm pretty certain it is, so that's very handy. So we just come out of there and head south again, so we're popping in here to get the job. I'm sure it's in here. In fact, let me have a look. Well, certainly not a trailer there. Well, you'll also be able to confirm that when you go into Shooter's Pool today, there'll be at least 150 people playing it, in comparison to the 20 or 30 that are in VP4. You'll also see that there's probably about 300 people online, but that's maybe a bit misleading, because when you switch on your PC, some of the processes of Shooter's Pool actually kick in. And where the hell are these tyres, if there is any? I don't see the trailer. Maybe I've got this wrong. Hang on. Let's have a look. Right, 10,022. Right, well it must just about to appear. Yeah, 350 online, but you see that's misleading. That's because it's running in the background in their PCs. That they're not in the lobby or anything like that. But the reality of it is the 100 odd that it says that they're playing. That's the realistic figure, and it's still an embarrassing number compared to what VP4 has. That's the embarrassing thing about it. Right, so it's that trailer there. Aye, it's not the big tyres, it's just waste tyres. I thought it was going to be some of these big, these big digger trucks things, big huge tyres. Right, let's get in there. And then we'll have a look at the map and see where the hell we're going, because we've no doubt going right down to the bottom of the map again. And this is what I keep saying about the game. It's what goes up must come down, and this is what's happening. We're up at the top. We're just about to hook the trailer up, and to get the most money, we're taking the most expensive job we can get, and we're travelling the furthest that we're going to go. Right, so up with the supports. Trailer. I keep forgetting to put the trailer up first, then up with the supports. Well, I only ever drop in to see how things are going. Well, maybe, in fact, you'll have a hard job finding out why the forum doesn't work anymore, which it hasn't for a while, months and months it hasn't. The chat doesn't work in the lobby, probably because of the abuse going backward and forward in the lobby, and not really anybody moderating it either. So they decided to pull the plug on it, and maybe it was because there was a certain amount of abuse going on in the forum as well. I don't think they managed their forum, and so they decided to take the easy option and just get rid of them. Right, so the truck is good to go. We've got the handbrake off. In fact, I'll just put the damn thing back on, get the ignition on, that's what we want. We'll put the lights on, and before we go, we will have a look at what the hell am I looking at? The map. That's what I want to do. I want to find out exactly where I'm going. Alaskan Tire Industries we're going to, and they are going to be down just before we get to the port. They're going to be down here, Wasilla, that's where it is, down to there. Thing is, if you get to this point in the map, you need to get your truck fixed. You either get the tow truck to take you there and you end up paying more money, or you have to drive all the way up there, all the way around here and down to Valdez, because that's the nearest truck repair depot you can get to. There's nothing over this side, and you have to go up and do a loop all the way down there. So we're heading down to Wasilla. I'm going to have a drink, a quick drink. Right, Now, we've got 1100 miles to go, which without going all the way down to Valdez at the port, this is one of the longest jobs you'll do on this map. Right. And we're approaching the end of spring and moving into summer. So your truck's going to take more wear and tear during the winter months. I had to get an emergency repair done in the truck during the winter months. You doubt you'll be over there long? Folks, oh shit, I'm too busy reading the chat. Hang on a minute. Almost lost it there. Oh, the venues that you can buy in Shooter's Pool again are a lot nicer looking. So they are. The tables are a lot nicer looking. No. Well, I suppose yes and no. I would agree with you there that if he has invested in bringing the graphics up to date, it would be a radical change. Would he get a return on his investment? I don't know. I mean, the players that's been attracted to VP4 recently have all been from Vietnam and China, that part of the world, and none of them are bringing any investment into the game because they're all gratis. One or two of them might upgrade at some point, unlikely though. So you're only talking about a very minority difference, nothing substantial. It would be a real surprise to me that a big change in the graphics is going to bring more people to VP4. I think what you need to also remember is that for the element that are attracted to Shooter's Pool, there's an element of people who are attracted to it because they're playing with their pals. They've got the game set the way they want it. If they want the bracket lines on, they can have the game that way. They're all in the room together, not doing any harm to anybody else. They've got the aids that they need to get their enjoyment out of the game. You don't have that in VP4. It's too hardcore. That's its biggest problem, is that it's too hardcore for maybe a younger element, or them that bump into the wrong people and they get scared off, all of that stuff. So you have to give what the people ultimately want at the end of the day, and if you're not prepared to do that, you end up being like VP4, stuck in its ways, with only the bare bones people who've stuck with it all the way, and a lot of them have had every version of Virtual Pool in every shape or form that it's come in. So all of those people, like me and others, know what they're getting for their money. But if you send somebody into the VP4 lobby who's played Shooter's Pool the way they wanted to play it with their pals for months on end, and you suddenly put them into the VP4 lobby and they go into a room where they've got no protection whatsoever, and suddenly it becomes down to knowledge and technique more than just using their aiming lines and things. Then suddenly they find that this game's too hard and too demanding, and they're out the door. That plays a big part on it. I've no doubt about that. But yes, a lot of people think the graphics. I mean, you've got to remember, you know, VP4 is now more than what, 12 years old. It's 2012, and it's now 2024. So on a game that's now well past its sell-by date since it launched, it's had no graphics update. It's had no improvements to the rooms or anything. It needs to become more modernistic looking, doesn't it? It needs to become more like Shooter's Pool, especially the rooms. But all of that means Steve hiring the same people that he's hired before, graphic artists. All of that has to be invested in. Now he's got to be asking himself, is it worth the investment? Is it going to be worth the investment? Is it worth the investment doing that for 50 people? Or is it worth doing it if you're going to get another 250 people? And that thereby lies the dilemma of throwing money at something which might not necessarily be the fix. And I think that is probably the story of it. I don't like Shooter's Pool from day one because it's not. If it was the same as VP4 in terms of aiming and stuff like that, fine, not a problem. I think you have to spend a lot of time getting the configuration set up, because Shooter's Pool does allow you to more or less copy the VP4 settings, but you have to spend a bit of time dialing everything in Shooter's Pool, and I've never invested any time in doing that. But do you honestly think that VP4 is going to have that vast improvement? Well, Steve did hint, didn't he? If you were in the stream a few days ago, whenever that was, he did hint that something might be in the pipeline. Now you see, if you had been sensible, Semi-Pro, you could have given me the cash. You could have sent me your wee dollars, I would have kept them for you, and you would have got them back. Because I don't use them. Right, where are we? Now what I'm hoping to get on this job south is to get maybe the odd tree down again at the usual place. Now the one surefire way of guaranteeing that is that when we're heading south here, that we are going along that way, right? Now remember, heading north there, I showed you where the tree was down, the tree's down here, and when we get this further south, we'll be fortunate enough that the tree will be down again at the same spot, and we'll get the $200 for it. So we grind on and on. I've got my match rearranged with Spudboy for the Cowboy World Championships. I sent a proposal last night as soon as the thing went live. I sent a proposal for 6:30 tonight, but then of course I realised even at that time that was going to be like, you know, lunchtime, Spudboy's time, and of course when he came online he's going to be at work. So we got Steve to open it back up, and it's now set for next Tuesday night at 10:30 my time, which is fine, although I'll be asleep probably while I'm playing. So Spudboy will have the advantage over me, but it makes it fairer to him that he gets time to come home from work, instead of having to rush to go in and play a match. So Spudboy will probably do me at that time of night, I would have to say. But the winner is lined up to play Interchange X in the next round. Well, Albie didn't sign up to the Cowboy because obviously, you know, you've got a couple of big matches coming up in the 9 ball. We're almost getting there. It's almost over. So as we head south, as I mentioned when we were heading north, let's look out for this predictable tree to be down at the predictable place it predictably always is at. And it's not the only one, there are other locations where the trees are down at the same place every time. And I'd be very surprised if randomly that it doesn't appear this time heading south. Right, now what I didn't do is I didn't go and top up the fuel before we started heading south. We've still got more than half a tank, but this truck does guzzle more fuel, and it has a smaller fuel tank, so I do have to spend more dollars topping the fuel up in this thing. But we'll get to a fuel station soon enough. What time is it? It's getting towards, in fact it is night time, it's what, 6:30 game time. Just grinding out the hours, grinding out the jobs, grinding out the money, paying for the repairs, doing another job, blah 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 blah. I didn't even know Shooters Pro had drills, you know that? That shows you how much I've looked into the game. Are these offline or online? Because I haven't even looked at that. The only length of time I spent offline in Shooters Pro was actually get my Q case sorted out. But I can't remember the functions in the game now, because again it's nothing that I really go to with any regularity at all. I mean, I don't spend any time playing any matches or anything set up offline in Shooters Pro. I don't go near it. I just drop into the online now and again to see if anything's changed, and sad to say that nothing has changed. I mean, why? I mean, if you get rid of the forum, then why doesn't the two guys? I nearly crashed into that bugger there. Why doesn't the two guys get moderators in then? If they don't have the time to moderate their own lobby and keep the chat lobby open, I mean, that's one way people can have a communicate, unless, you know, everybody's all piled into it. In fact, there's nobody ever in Shooters Pro Discord, so you've not really got a simple way of communicating online now either. So you'd have to think that a lot of these guys who are in a little group are in Discord. Sharp bend up here. What, Discord for shooters doesn't work? How do you mean? How do you mean it doesn't work? What, do they sort of shut it down? maybe they've killed that off as well, maybe because there was abuse going on or whatever. I don't know what the story is. The link on the game, or the link to Discord. Ah. Well, it just gives you the impression that you know, things seem to have got, you know, from an outsider looking in, it looks as if they've got a bit tired and lazy about what's happening with the actual game site itself, with them not having any chat, with now not having any access to the forum that they had, but which was the only place you found out what updates they'd done to the game. I used to regularly drop by there to have a look and see what the updates were. You get no information like that getting passed across now anymore. So it's as if it is two brothers that run the thing. It's as if they've kind of lost motivation slightly. I don't know. I mean, having, you know, 2 or 3 moderators to deal with people and boot them out if they're causing problems in the forum or causing problems in the chat, that would certainly keep the thing open for the sort of more sane people who want to find out information. If they're not prepared to give that to their customers, they're quite happy with make do with what they've got, and as long as they've got more than what VP4 has, they're on a winner. Maybe that's the sort of attitude they've got. Well, you're going to experience an awful lot of that, because you're going to be going in there drilling these poor gullible numpties. That's exactly what you're asking for going there. I could have told you that even before you got there. No, the skill level won't be, because that's why they're all in there together, to avoid people like you. They don't want to be sitting there getting hammered. They want to be playing with guys at their same level, so as soon as they get buckets around that you're there, folk will be avoiding you like the plague. Can I tell you that off the bat? So that's what I'm saying. If you're going there to dominate, it'll only happen for a short while, and then folk will get wise to you and stay well out of your way. And they'll still be bailing out the room first chance they can get. That's always in the cards. Here we go with the gearbox again, and it finally kicks in. Right, now how far have we still got to go? 650 miles. See, you've got none of those guys on there. I mean, most folk aren't interested in the drills, let's be honest. Most folk couldn't care less about the drills. They're only interested in getting what they can get out of the game, or what they're interested in, and that's it. Whether it be shooters, pool, or VT4. I need to get a quick drink. I need a quick drink. Right, what time is it? In real time it is 11:47, so that's 11:47 to lunchtime for me. So the plan is I'm going to get this job done, and I'm going to go for lunch, and I'm going to predict that somewhere down this road I'm expecting to get the alert that there's a tree down here, and I'm looking for my $200 bonus. But I'm also looking to make people aware of the dangers of stopping in the road to chop this tree down, because this is where I've been hit by more than one vehicle on occasion, because I've stopped in the road and the AI vehicles come around the corner and drive straight into you, and then you get fined because they hit you. You know, that's the major flaw in this game. So that is my prediction. And remember what I said, the solution is just to kill the game, Control Alt Delete, shut down Alaskan Road Truckers and then restart it, and it should start from a safe point prior to you getting there, and then that protects you from being fined for no reason whatsoever. Now this camera that I've got here, this is how I drive the game in winter time. I drive it pretty much permanently like this because you can't see where the damn road is, and the closer you can get to the road, the more chance you have of staying on the damn road. Because they don't have delineators, they didn't think it was worthwhile putting delineators in to let you know where the road is. So you have to go into that first person camera to give you the best odds of being able to drive and ramp the damn trucks and keep it as best you can on the road surface. I don't think we're that far off a fuel stop. We'll get this probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe $600 odd worth of fuel we're going to have to get in the tank by the time we get there. And that'll be convenient as well, because by the time that we arrive at the fuel stop, wherever that might be, I'm trying to remember, we should also just take our rest stop there as well now that he's tired. This is a tight bend, so we need to slow right down. Yeah. I think there's a set of traffic lights up ahead. Right now. Oh, you're a bit poorly at the moment. What the hell's up? You got the man flu. Now, I thought there was a fuel station. I'm pretty certain there's a fuel station here. It's a bit laggy, I think, with the street lights and everything going on here. It's a bit laggy. Oh, aye. To use a little play on words, you're a bit down in the mouth. I'm just going through the red light because no bugger pays any interest to the lights at all. I was convinced there was a fuel station here. Maybe I've got it all wrong. Well, there is probably a fuel station here, but there's nothing near the road, so I'm not driving up a side street to find a fuel station. Sod that. Yeah, we're getting a bit of lagginess here with the trees. And I'm in the wrong lane as well for turning left. So we'll just head through whatever red light that we're at. Now this is why I made the night sky brighter, because I turned the brightness up because the headlights in the truck are crap. For my eyes anyway, they are. You can only see 10 yards in front of yourself with these lights. So I just turned the game brightness up, and that makes it a lot easier to drive at night. just below half a tank of fuel now, which I think is the least amount of fuel I've ever had in the truck. I've always had it well stocked up with fuel. And I've never driven the truck where he's been yawning, where I've got to the point to find out what happens when he eventually falls asleep. No doubt it's a bit like Eurotruck, where you end up losing control of the truck for a minute or two, and then you can end up crashing into a vehicle. So I've never got that far, and in fact I more than likely won't if I can get somewhere that I can get off the road and just take a rest right now while I'm at it. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock at night. In fact, this will do here, if it'll allow me to do it. And there aren't any bollards to hit. Let's see if it'll allow us to take the rest here on a tilt. Right, put the engine off, see if we can get in. It'll either let us in or it won't let us in. There we go, that'll do it. So this will bring us round to early morning. And hopefully back to a bit more daylight. Aye, so if you've got any pain, you just need the paracetamols. That'll ease the pain. There we are, into a brand new day. It's 5:19 in the morning. Bright Alaskan sunshine coming, and I'll get my headlights on full beam again. Now, that's what I was talking about earlier. Now, look at, there's the AI drove straight into me for a start. Remember what I said about that? This time, no damage was done, I don't think, and no fine was given. But let me go to the map. This is what I was talking about right at the beginning of this stream. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That road there, this is the road I'm talking about. I was talking about being able to drive off the map. Now, when you approach this junction here, because there's roadworks going on, the GPS tells you to go that way for a short while. Well, what I actually did the other day was I drove along that road, and when you get to the end of this road, the road isn't a dead end. It isn't blocking you off. You can drive straight onto the grass, and you're actually off the map. You're off the area that you should be in. And I ended up driving around all of this area here until I eventually came to a river where I could drive under the river if I wanted to. There was also the wind turbines that I could drive right next to. This is all stuff that no doubt in the future they can put more stuff to the map in here, but to allow you to be able to drive straight off this road onto an area that you really shouldn't be on, because you can get and bother with the truck, and I did. And I called the roadside assist, and because I was off the map, the roadside assist thing didn't work properly. It bugged out. So I think what they should do is, in the meantime, is they either decide this road is going to go somewhere eventually, or they put in a roadblock to stop you using it. Because there's many more people than me will have driven right off here to see if they can go and discover stuff. And you'll only end up in trouble, and you'll only end up damaging your truck doing it. That's the road I've been trying to remember that I was on, and it's that one there. Don't go near it, it's a waste of your time. Right, in the meantime, let's see if we can get out of here without doing any further damage or getting a fine. Well, we managed to get out of that in one piece, I think. So looking at the fuel at the speedometer in the centre, we're below half. there isn't any panic yet. Just got to be ready to pounce when we see the fuel station. 500 miles still to go, and then we're calling it quits. That's actually, that image there is quite a good image. It reminds me of the view of Arran in winter time. If you're up where I live, on a clear winter day like this, when Arran has got snow in the mountains, that's the sort of backdrop you see. Not quite as spectacular as that, but you know, something of a similar vein, where you're looking across the Firth of Clyde, and you can see the snow-capped mountains of Arran with the sun glistening off them. So that just gives me a little reminder of that. So these tyres are going to a waste site, or whatever the hell it's called. Remember what I said, we're expecting, it might not happen, but we're expecting a predictable tree to be down here. Knowing my luck and knowing all the build-up I've given it, it probably won't appear, but I'm expecting it to happen anytime soon, because this is where we're turning right onto this road, and that's where the tree's down usually when it's going to happen. So it won't happen this time. Just to make me look a fool, it won't happen. But I actually haven't had anything happen in the last two jobs. Heading north, I didn't have to cut a tree, I don't think. So we might be lucky enough. One other thing you'll notice about the game, whether it be winter, spring, summer or fall, I'm not going to burst into song, you'll notice that the tree colours are exactly the same. So like the way they are now, some of these trees are in their autumn plumage, but that doesn't change. Obviously a lot of these trees are evergreen trees, so they never change their colour anyway, but some of the other trees, they should, but they don't. Do you like games like 7 Days? Never heard of 7 Days. Never heard of it. I have no idea what the game is about. In fact, I don't think I've seen any video, well, not that I've been looking for them, but I don't think I've come across any videos on YouTube about 7 Days to Die. Oh, 7 Days to Die it's called. No, I've never heard of it. Right, so there might be a tree here or there might not, but I've had no warning of it. So we're probably not getting it this time. So we're turning right on the assumption that we were going to get warning of a tree being here. And you'll notice I've been hit by something. Now I'm going to cheat again. I'm going to do the old Control-Alt-Delete cheat because I'm not taking a fine for some bugger hitting me. I am going to kill the game and restart it, because that's the only way to get round these bastards robbing you of money that is purely not your fault. All I was doing was turning a corner and some asshole has just drove straight into me, and that's one of the persistent bugs that's in the game with the AI. And the AI will continue doing that until they put it right. In fact, to be honest with you, they should actually fix it so that when the AI hit you're the one that gets awarded the money. You don't get fined. That they give you money, and the reason they give you money is so you can go and pay for the bloody damage to your truck. A zombie, I'm not interested in zombie survival games. The last thing I had was Undead something years and years ago on the PC. I can't. Dead Island it was. That's what I had. I had Dead Island, and I never enjoyed that. So, and there we go. There's the obstacle in the road that we're getting alerted to. So now that we've restarted the game and cheated our way out of that collision, you'll notice that in the top right hand corner of the screen it says what we're transporting and where we're going to, but it also still says 100%. So we've covered ourselves against that damage for that idiot running into us, and we've still got that problem. Now you see, here's the other problem with restarting the game. Now this is another lesson in what you always need to do when you restart the game in this Alaskan Truck Drivers. I know that I should be turning right here, but the GPS is telling me to go straight on. This is why you must always reset your GPS. See, if you don't reset or set your default route, the GPS just goes offline and goes anywhere. So you always have to keep double checking that, and that's a perfect example there of why you should do it, because it was telling me to go straight on and I knew I was to turn right. And there's where the tree's down, so I'm going to get 200 points for getting rid of the tree, but I'm also probably taking a very big risk in getting run into again by these AI drivers. So let's see if we can get round the corner quick, get up to this tree, get it out the bloody way, and prevent this lunatic AI drivers from just running straight into me. Now why have I got the indicator on? Right, here we go. So take your life in your hands. You've got a tree just around the bend here to cut down. We'll go into first person. And there it is, in its usual place, and like it always is. You stop the truck, you put the handbrake on if you can remember what camera to set it to, and you dive out the truck. Now, if anything comes around the corner, well, at least he's stopped this time. So I'll get my 200 points awarded for chopping the tree down. And magically the tree disappears, my 200 XP. And then he decides he wants to go round, so he's prepared to run you down in the process. The other guy's still stuck there. Look, there you go. There's evidence of why the AI is a pile of shit in this game. Excuse me. So he couldn't see that I'm stopped in the middle of the road. So if the devs are watching this, your game is still bugged to hell, and it still needs a lot of fixing. If you think you're going to release this in console in the very distant or the very near future. So he's ran into me. Fortunately I haven't been fined this time, and I don't know whether that's a case of me being out the truck at the time that it happened. Right, handbrake off. Let's get going. So, proof if ever you need it of the flaws in this game. Well, first of all, who's they? Who's there talking about, you know, who's releasing AI that can see and hear? Well, they don't got them in some of these Japanese robots anyway. Excuse me, I've got a tickly throat. I mean, anything AI at the moment's in its infancy. But I think it's got a lot of people scared as well. Well, going back to the very first demo of the game that came out, This area on the right hand side that we're just coming to, this is where you start the game. Excuse me. This is where you actually start the game, down in there. People crash into me, no, he's overtaken us. That's where you start. You start with your first job in there and off you go. That's where you always start. So we're now going to go down and join the main route south. Once we get to this road end here, we'll join on that main road south. And we've still got 400 miles to go. Hang on a minute, I need another drink. Something's got my throat tickly. Go to 40, is that the name of a company? Right. Let's get the foot to the floor. We're still looking for this fuel station, by the way. We're running. We're not desperate yet, but we're keeping an eye on it. Because if you run out of fuel, you can always call the emergency fueling, which will cost you. I don't want to go down that route. So I think what we should do is we should just clear the screen and map out a gas station. Right, so we've got a gas station coming up on the right hand side. This is the one I've been talking about for the last half an hour. I knew there's a gas station somewhere along the route. So it's just there. We'll get that once we get onto the main route. Let's see if we can overtake this guy. And I haven't got my mirrors on. That's better. Right, we're coming up to this junction. We need to slow right down. We'll go to third person, that gives us a better view of what's going on round about us. Nothing coming there. And this is actually the first fuel station you go into in the game as well when you start the game. You're sort of going through that tutorial phase. So we're going to get a hefty amount of money taken from us here when we top this up. This is going to take like, I don't know how many gallons of fuel. So this is one thing I like about the game, is the fueling thing. When you get into the little D zone and it goes green, that lets you know the fuel tank's within range. So then you can just put your handbrake on, engine off, lob out that side if you've got room, and then find out where your little thing is. That's a marker, and that will automatically choose the amount of fuel that you're going to need to fill the tank. This should be up to at least 500 odd, if not more. Yeah, there you go. $500 worth of fuel, $600 worth. I knew it was going to be a lot. 703. So this is the most I've ever put in the tank. Right, there we go. And then you can just stand there looking at it and listen to the beep. That tells you it's full. You don't need to look at the fuel tank dispenser itself. Let's listen to the little beep. There we go. And that was 167 gallons. Let's see how much that's going to cost us. 700 was it? Yeah, $702.81. Now, remember what I said about my little tip earlier on? we've got all the food on board the truck, but because I am, if you look at my little apple, just in the middle of the GPS map in the bottom left, you see that the apple's down a wee bit. So rather than wasting the food on board the truck, when you're actually in one of these places, you can either go here and buy something like a chocolate bar or nuts or trail mix or something off this guy. So you could do that. I'll have the trail mix and I'll eat that. You've got to be careful though, because you don't want to overuse this way of doing things, because then your food starts running out its sell-by date in the truck. But if you take something like canned food, you can eat that while you're in here. See, that doesn't quite fill us up. I'll take a bag of nuts as well, and I'll eat that. And I'll also take the potato chips, as they call them in the States. Right, so that's us about full there. I'm going to go over and have a coffee as well. I will have a half and half. And that's us topped up. Right. So now, that keeps all the recent food that we've just bought in the truck, that keeps it all on board without us wasting it. And then we can continue on with the job to our finale. That's not what I want. I want that. And I've put the lights off again. See this, I was talking about that fuel stop further up the map where they've got telephone poles blocking your entrance to the bloody fuel station, and they've also got telephone poles making it difficult to get out of the fuel station. They want to get rid of that, put maybe a fence like that up, so it's clear where you're coming in and going out. You know, they can redesign that, and you've got a road here that vehicles will want to come out of and turn up into. That's dangerous. Right, let's go. Now, there might be another tree down, further down this road here. It actually happens just as you get up the crest of a hill, so we might be lucky and get 2 lots of 200 points for our mechanical stuff. Sometimes there's a second tree down. I think there is though. It's usually up the crest of this hill. Sometimes it's on the other side of the road, which doesn't stop you stopping the truck and getting out and chopping it down anyway, because you still get your 200 bonus points for doing it. I don't think there is one though. Not this time. There isn't one this time. I think they're doing the one before now. But it won't give you the warning of the second one because it's on the opposite side of the road. That's why you just have to keep your eye out for it, because you can drive around it, but you don't really want to drive around it. You want to get out and chop it down and get your points, get your XP points. You need all of them that you can get. Now, one thing I haven't done is, again, like I always say, is double check and set the default route in case something weird's happened with this GPS, which it's been known to do. Now this road does get a wee bit tricky further down, it gets a wee bit twisty, so you've got to watch your speed, that you're not overdoing it. And so, in all the jobs that I've done, I have barely gone near my headquarters because there's absolutely very little or no reason to go near them, because first of all, your driver isn't at a level where you can build anything substantial enough that you can get use of. you know, it talks about saving you money in terms of your repair costs, but I'm finding that I'm getting by as it is. I'm still being there's another graphic glitch there. I'm still being profitable enough. And now that I've got the faster truck, I can get jobs done quicker. So I think I'm doing more than breaking even the way things are going, and I've got no real desire to upgrade my headquarters. I can't see the value in it the way the game's going at the moment. I need to watch my pace here. I'm going a bit too fast and twisty there. Now, I slowed right down there because I didn't know whether that guy coming this direction would want to turn right. Now there we go, you see how I didn't get a warning about the tree because it's on the other side of the road. Now again, I'm at risk here of being hit by AI vehicles. I could easily just drive around that, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to put the handbrake on. It doesn't give you a warning for this tree because it doesn't need to because it's on the opposite side, but you still get your 200 points bonus. Now there's a warning because I'm on the wrong side of the road. But you can still get that bonus by just chopping it down, so it's worthwhile getting out of the truck and doing it. There we go. And luckily, we haven't been hit this time. Right, so that was good. And that's given us, what we made at least another, 400 or 600 XP points to our mechanical side of things, which we're probably not going to bloody well use, in all honesty. Right, so we're almost at the end of spring and about to move into summer. Not quite, maybe another job yet and another rest before that's going to happen. But the little arrow in the middle of the screen at the top is just heading towards the end of spring. But this is where you must make as much as you can because you will be slowed down, of course, in the winter months. And you'll be paying probably more for mechanical stuff in your truck in the winter months as well. A little lag there. Oh, hang on a minute, that's a big twist. I forgot about that one. We just made it because there's a big rock there. Oh, and I've hit him now. That was my fault this time. That was my fault. That's the only one where it's been my fault because of that tight bend. I wasn't even ready for it. Right, let's get around it. Yeah, I'm not going to cheat my way out of that one when it was my fault that time. So we're going to find what, $100 and odd. We can live with that. Now that might mean, it might actually mean, I wonder where I can park here. It could also mean that I've got damage to one of my lights. And I think I've got bulbs. I've got at least 2 bulbs with me where I can do that repair myself. And if I can get the truck parked, I might be able to have a look at that because I've hit that car. That may well have supposedly damaged one of my bulbs and I could get the XP for getting that fixed. This is what I said about this end of the map. You've got to be careful, it gets quite twisty. And if you're going a wee bit too fast like I was into that sharp bend, you can get caught out. Right, if we can find a good spot, I don't know, I can't remember if there's any parking places down here, I'm sure there is. Then I'll get out and I'll have a look and see if I can do a repair to the bulbs. Now, did I leave the bulbs in the toolbox? That's what I'm trying to remember. And again, it has not rained for days and days and days in this game. It rained after it came out of the previous winter. So that's 2 winters ago was the last time it actually rained in the game. Because up until then, during winter months, it was all snow. But as soon as it got to spring, I had a bit of rain, and that was it. So that was 2 springs ago was the last time I had rain in the game. So there seems to be a drought going on in Alaska. Right now, I think there is a little bit here where you can cut the corner and go in. There it is, that's it up ahead. This is what I'm talking about. This will do here. We can go in here, cut the corner. It's actually a parking place up here. So we'll get in, put the handbrake on and get a look at this one of these headlights and see if it needs fixing. I could be jumping the gun here thinking that it doesn't, it probably doesn't. Now let's check my inventory. Scraper, toolkit, headlight bulbs, I've still got 2 left. So if I get out the truck, well, I need to put the engine off, I probably will, we'll do that. I'll put the lights off as well. And we'll see if we can get a wee repair done here, that'd be a bonus. Let's have a look. There we go, left head sight fully repaired, 20 mechanical points. I don't know whether this one will need done, and it does as well, so that's another 20. So now I'm completely out of bulbs. So I need to buy bulbs again, and that's why you want to have a set of bulbs with you, because you can do those little repairs by yourself and get the little bonus XP for doing it. There we go. So that collision with the car there, as much as it cost me $100 fine, it's helped get me an extra 40 XP points. Now this is a bit of a bugger to get out of, because you're going to knock this sign over on the right hand side for a start, and you're also putting your life in the line coming out of here with the AI vehicles. I think we're going to get out clean. Right. Now you can see the frame rate's good in third person like that. And it's still not bad here, but you'll get the odd area where it just slows up. Sharp bend up ahead, get the foot down a wee bit, get the brakes on. We're ready for this turn. We are all prepared. Now the gear will eventually kick in. Yeah, there we go. It takes a while to think about it and work it out, but it'll eventually get there. Now, did I not get done for speeding here before, I think? Maybe. Was it here or maybe it was somewhere else? It looked very familiar. I thought I got done for speeding here before, but maybe I got it wrong. one bit where it suddenly drops to 15 mile an hour speed limit, and there's a bloody traffic cop sitting there waiting on you, and I get done by him. Again, tight corner coming up. And they're down to 25 miles an hour. There might be a traffic cop round about here, so we'll take it easy. So we've got 160 odd miles to go. It won't be long till we're done. And there's the other graphic glitch again. I mean, the graphics run not too bad. I mean, there is a bit of slowdown here and there, but those graphic glitches that I call them, where you see the ground changing and stuff like that, they're throughout the map at the same locations every time. I don't know what's triggering that. You would have thought the devs would have worked that out as well, and put it right. Especially before they actually decide they're going to port this over to console. Nice and slow. And what we've got in front of us, probably a cement mixer. Out of the 2 or 3 trucks that exist in the game as AI vehicles, they're not a great deal of choice. They went for the minimalistic approach there. So it's 10:52 in the morning, so we're going to arrive there in the afternoon. Still good daylight left. Slow down again. Down to 25 miles an hour. Go to third person, get a look at the river. Not a lot happening in the river. only thing that that collision has done, as well as me getting that fine now that I've remembered about it, is that it's probably done my reputation a little bit there. That probably knocked a bit off my 4-star reputation with that hit. Because the interesting thing is, though, that even though I've hit that guy, what the most important thing is, I haven't damaged the goods. I'm still sitting at 100% top right. If you look at that, let me just double check this map. So a quick zoom in. Well, this looks fairly straightforward. We go along and we turn left and we turn left again, and then we shouldn't have any problem finding the logistics location where we're delivering this. Other thing you'll notice in Alaska, they have no buses at all, as well as no snow plows. Not that you're going to see snow plows at this time of year, but you know what I mean. So there are no buses, there are no schools in Alaska, because there are no schools. Look at that bloody AI vehicle, look at that, look at that. He just decided to fly off the road and disappear. And then that one decided to hit me. I mean, this is how crazy the AI get. So you saw that there, we've got that in video evidence. He just decided to drive straight into the grass verge there in the middle and decide to disappear. Then the AI driver decides to run into me. So yeah, you've got a good game that's well worth releasing on console, I'll tell you that, guys. And there's all the AI vehicles disappearing as well. And all of those 3 vehicles that had stopped have all disappeared. Now, if that's the fix, you know, let them do their damage. But when they all stall, the fix is just to let them disappear. Then it's not a good fix. You know, get rid of the fault that allows them to do stupid stuff like that, other than taking that as an easy option and just letting them sort of despawn. So again, it's just evidence of that major fixes the AI vehicles still need doing throughout the map. You know, it can happen in a number of roads. I'll tell you where another place it will still happen. It will still happen in Valdez. Down there, you've got to be careful when you're driving through the streets in there, because there's a couple of tight bends in that location there, and AI vehicles will fly round a corner and actually slide off the road. I've got a video with that in it. So yeah, the 1.4 update that they did maybe fixed a few things, but it hasn't fixed the root cause of AI vehicles, because they're still doing dumb things. Right. So here we go, almost there. And now I've been done again by being hit by an AI vehicle. Now that wasn't my fault, so I'm going to cheat my way out of it. I'm going to do the task manager. I'm going to kill the game. I'm going to end the game, and I'm going to restart the damn thing. I am not accepting fines where they've hit me and it's not my fault. I am only going to accept fines where it was my fault that it's happened, and in this case it wasn't. It's the usual thing, you're stopped at traffic lights, the AI guy runs into you and you get fined for your pleasure. So I'm not having it. So the cheat round it is just to kill your game, restart the game, and the game will start from an autosave prior to your accident, at least it should do. Now, wait a minute, we'll get rid of that. That's BRB mode is still on, hang on. Hopefully I'm going to get rid of it. Game's still loading up. Right, let's see if that's get rid of it. Well, that's no good. The be right back mode is still on. I need to get rid of that before I can continue streaming. That seems to have bugged out. Let's try that. That's better. Now we're good to go. Well, that unfortunately is my cheater's way of getting out of a situation through no fault of your own, where you're ending up getting fined. It's unfortunate, but I'll continue doing it because I ain't taking fines for when they're hitting me. So AI drivers have very little concept of what is really happening around about them. And we talk about the advancements in AI, well, they certainly haven't reached this game. AI drivers will generally do what they want to do, and if it involves hitting you and taking you out of the way, then that's part of the deal. But you don't have to accept it. You can cheat your way around it. Now this time, I think the last two deliveries we do have to go in this way. I think the last two deliveries we went to, when we were down this end of the map, I think we went to the same company. Surely this isn't the third one. Because you'll find up, you're ending up doing repetitive jobs going to the same places. Especially like me, if you want to get the most money, you will end up getting repetitive jobs going to the same place, delivering the same stuff. I've got to put my wing mirrors on, or my virtual mirrors on. That's us going pretty much flat out. And we'll go straight on through here. Let's see if we can do a bit of weaving. How about that for a move? Now, there's the glitch that I was talking about, and I've fallen for it. I kept talking about resetting your map. Now, I haven't reset it there, and look where it's taken me, to a dead end. I've gone past where I should be delivering the bloody thing. Now you see what I mean. I've gone well past where I should have been. The map didn't reset itself, and I've ended up miles beyond where I should have been. Well, we're soon going to fix that. Is that a wall that's over there? Now, why have I'm just going to say, why am I not able to move? That isn't a wall that's there, isn't it? No, right. Okay. Oh shit, don't tell me we're going to get stuck. Oh dear. Right, I need to see if I can get back to the autosave. Let's cheat our way out of this for one last time. Right, we might be able to cheat our way out of it. We might not. That autosave might have kicked in and we're stuck. We're stuck across the grass verge in the middle of the road. So it might be that we have to call the tow truck, and that'll cost us extra expense doing that. But again, that was self-inflicted that time though, because the GPS map hadn't reset itself, and it never does. You always have to keep checking it. And as much as I gave a warning of it, I went and fell into the trap of restarting the game and not checking the GPS. But it does give plenty of evidence where there's bugs in this game. There we are, we're stuck there. Yeah, I don't think we're getting out of that. Let's try. Yeah, it's a big bank. I thought it was a wall, but that's far too steep a bank. We're never getting over that. So the only solution there is to take the hit and see whether this rescue will work. That's not what we want. We want that. Right. Towed the truck to a workshop. That's $8 grand. Well, we ain't having that. Tow the truck back to the road. We'll have that, and let's see if it works. Well, it has worked, but before we do anything, we need to double check the GPS. So we've incurred the expense of the rescue. What the hell is that? That's a bit of a weird one. That graphic glitch there in the road surface. That's funny, isn't it? Well, there's another thing that needs fixing. That's definitely weird. That's something that's been placed there and I've forgotten all about it. Anyway. So up and down, cheat your way out. I think I get carried away with the speed there as well, to be honest with you, but that's still no excuse for the GPS not resetting itself. The GPS is untrustworthy to say the least in this game. Now this guy better not pull in. Went like, I don't know, 30-40 miles beyond where we should have gone. But I'm pretty certain we should make it in, we should still make it in good time. Right, I think we need to get to... Yeah, the right side it is we're in. Oh, I want to avoid running into him though. I also want my mirrors on. Right, so... Right turn. Right, so this is where we're going to. Oh, I've been here 100 times. I've been here loads of times. Right. In fact, the last time I was here was at the end of winter. Now, I'm not parking there. Am I just going straight through here? This is simple enough for me. I think this is all I'm doing. Just going straight into the line there, that'll do. I can't be bothered with any of the reverse and carry on. If there's a simple way of doing it, I'd rather do that. That'll do. Right. So this is going to be calling it quits because it's lunchtime, and we'll have a quick update of where our driver is, what level he's at. Once we're in and saw the boss man or woman, whoever that might be here. Alaskan Tire Industries. Oh shit. I'm not excited to get down here. I'm totally forgetting to disconnect the trailer. I mean, that's another thing you don't do. Don't do something numptish like I've just done there and totally forget about disconnecting. Ah dear. I'm just desperate to get food. I'm starving. And I don't mean in the game. I'm talking in reality here. The stomach's rumbling. Right. Out of that. Into the cables. Get them done. And out of that. That's us done now. I finally remembered. Right, now let's go and see what we're going to get paid or fined or whatever. I don't think we are because we're still 100% for the goods. Right, there we go. So we got 10,022 for the job itself. 321 experience points. That gives us 4.5 stars reputation. So we might have lost a bit for that collision that we had. We got 250 for the parking bonus and 2.5 grand for the season bonus, so 12,700 in total. Right, so now if we go to the trucker status and we go there, we can see now that we're at level 21, and your level 21 comprises of the 6 that you've got for your personality, the level 10 that you've got for trucking, so that's like obviously 16, and then the level 5 that we're at for mechanical, which gives you your total of 21. We are at 4.5 star reputation, which is pretty good. I think that's the best I've been. We've actually been on the road for 79 days since we started this profile, or 79 game days. And in those 79 game days, we've done 34,500 miles. We've had about 4 or 5 winters, which is a bit weird. And we've got 2 mechanical points that we can spend that I'm loath to spend. I'm going to hang off. The trucking situation, well, that's got a long way to go because I've got 1 point, and when that fills up, I'm going to have 2 points, but it'll have to fill up again for a third time because these last 3 levels, for example, the D-class jobs, the heavy loads and unusual weight distribution, those all cost 3 points to open up, and the final truck class 4, is 3 points as well, and the trucker license E is 3 points. So I'm going to need 9 more points or 8 more points in total. So again, it's going to be just a grind to get there. The personality thing, well, I've already got 1 point. This more demanding roadblocks thing, I'm not going to bother with that because I don't see the point in it. Because we can get round the avalanches, we can deal with the trees. We don't need them taken away for us. We can deal with that ourselves. The nutrition meter drops 10% slower. That's probably the one that we're going to take when we get there. The other ones, again, are like level 3. Now, why is that saying winter person increases cold resistance? And that costs no points. But you've got to get the previous perk before you get there. So these perks cost nothing. I never even noticed that. So they cost you nothing other than you have to get all your levels prior to them. And they're free of charge. Right, so that is us. That is us. We've done another trip north. We've done another trip south. We're on level 21. We're grinding on and on. But the rest of that is for another day. So until we meet again, take care.